In the deep heart of the southwestern United States, a monumental scar is carved into the Earth's skin. A colossal rift, sculpted by millennia of patient erosion, reveals not just rock and depth, but the very soul of the planet. This is not merely an abyss to be admired. It is a sanctuary, a sacred stage where life persists, pulses, and silently narrates stories of endurance, struggle, and reverence. This is the Grand Canyon. Located in the state of Arizona, the Grand Canyon National Park is more than a tourist destination. It is one of nature's most awe-inspiring creations on the planet. Its vertical walls, painted in layers that defy time, unveil nearly 2 billion years of geological history. Each color, each stratum, each crevice is a page from an open book written in stone, a silent tale about the birth and transformation of the world. Here, the climate transforms with altitude. At the canyon's bottom, desert heat burns like an ancient furnace. At the top, ponderosa pine forests offer shade and coolness. This diversity of elevation and terrain supports a surprising variety of ecosystems, where life adapts and thrives. From resilient cacti to golden eagles soaring over cliffs, every being here has found a way to survive time and space. But the Grand Canyon is more than a natural wonder. It is also a place of memory and spirit. For thousands of years, this territory has been, and still is, a sacred home to indigenous peoples like the Havasupai, the Hopi, the Hualapai, the Navajo. For these ancient guardians, the canyon is not just geography, but a living entity, filled with spiritual meanings, sacred stories, and wisdom passed down through generations. Here, the rock speaks and the wind carries prayers. In 1979, the world recognized the invaluable worth of this place by inscribing it as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. More than a tribute to its beauty, it was an acknowledgement of its geological, ecological, and cultural value to all civilization. Few places on Earth so powerfully embody the history of the Earth and the human presence that contemplates and honors it. The Grand Canyon is a natural cathedral, an altar excavated by time where the gods of stone and water have made their abode. Each sunrise that paints its walls with fiery hues, and each silence that hovers over its steep trails, invites contemplation and humility. Millions come from all corners to see this marvel, but those who truly feel it are the ones who listen, not with their ears, but with their hearts. Because what is seen from above is only the surface. What is felt within is eternity. Every step within the Grand Canyon National Park is a ceremony of reconnection. Here, one does not merely walk on trails of stone and dust, but on the very boundaries of human existence. The vastness teaches humility, the depth, reverence, and the untamed beauty of this sacred place reminds us that the planet does not belong to one nation alone, but is the common heritage of all humanity. Protecting the Grand Canyon is more than an act of ecological preservation. It is a solemn commitment to the future of life, geological memory, and the dignity of cultures that venerate it. This monumental chasm is a living library. It holds entire chapters of Earth's history and whispers lessons about the importance of honoring the natural treasures entrusted to us. In each cliff, in every fold of the terrain, life's persistence dwells. Silent creatures, shaped by the harshness of the desert and the freshness of the heights, traverse the space between the visible and the secret, reminding us that even in the most inhospitable landscapes, a wild heart beats. Among these resilient inhabitants, there is a symbol that moves with the dignity of the ancients, the bighorn sheep. Majestic and silent, it does not chase strength or haste, but lives in the cadence of geological time, as if listening to the heartbeat of the earth itself. Its sure feet touch the ground with precision, skillfully climbing the gorges and steep slopes that would make any other being hesitate. It is the spirit of the rocks, the living presence of the heights. Endowed with an anatomy sculpted to endure, the bighorn sheep survives not by excess, but by balance. Its watchful eyes survey the horizon. Its sturdy body holds the secret of resilience. In small, cohesive bands, it shares vigilance with its kin, in a silent dance between protection and communion. Its existence is marked by prudence and persistence. There is no waste, no rush, just presence. Its diet is humble, consisting of the tough vegetation that grows under the relentless sun. But its ability to find sustenance where others see nothing is proof of life's ingenuity. The bighorn sheep is, above all, a master of adaptation. Where the ground burns, it treads with serenity. Where there is silence, it listens. Where there is scarcity, it finds abundance. More than an animal, it is a living metaphor of freedom, an emblem of the unbreakable bond between the creature and the landscape that shaped it. Its sense of smell detects the promise of water miles away. Its ear deciphers the murmurs of the wind. Its communication, made of almost imperceptible gestures, is an ancient language intertwined with the essence of the canyon. Those few who, amidst the vastness of the park, cross paths with this discreet guardian forever cherish the memory of an encounter that cannot be explained, only felt. Because the bighorn sheep is the portrait of quiet strength, the beauty that does not impose but endures. It is the reflection of the Grand Canyon itself, deep, resilient, and silently eternal. On the exposed plains of the Grand Canyon, where the sky spills over the earth like an ocean of light and the dry air dances between the shrubs and prairies, an ancestral silhouette roams with the weight of history on its shoulders. This is the bison, a living monolith of a primordial past, a guardian of an era when giants roamed freely across the vastness of North America. More than a resident, the bison is a totemic presence. It does not just occupy space, it shapes it. Its massive body, covered in a thick, dark coat like summer storms, moves with a solemnity bordering on the sacred. There is a rhythm in its steps that echoes the ancient beats of the earth, as if each movement is tuned to the pulse of the planet itself. In cohesive herds, the bison cross the Grand Canyon with purpose. They seek food, yes, but also trace invisible roots that sustain the ecosystem. By grazing on the resilient herbs, they renew the fields, open space for new species, and fertilize the earth with their passage. They are unwitting gardeners of a wild landscape, silently shaping the biology of the canyon. The bison fears no void. Where others retreat from the vastness, it confronts it with the serenity of one sculpted to endure. Its strength lies not in aggression, but in permanence. It is a walking monument to resilience, a survivor of glacial ages, human persecution, and changes in climate and territory. And yet, it remains. Always there, advancing. For Native peoples, it is not just an animal, it is a spirit. It is abundance, sustenance, ancestry. Its figure populates myths, dreams, and songs, like a link between the earth and the sacred. In the early 20th century, attempts were made to fit this wild being into the logic of domestication. Bison were crossed with cattle, trying to merge strength and utility. But nature prevailed. Over time, the bison was reborn, freeing itself from hybridization and returning to its untamable essence. Today, Small groups inhabit the Grand Canyon as living relics, moving with the same dignity they carried millennia ago. Encountering one is more than a sight. It is a moment suspended in time. It is contemplating, face to face, a fragment of Earth's very memory. And while the fields reverberate with their firm steps, above them, something moves with precision and cunning. A winged predator dominates the skies and the shrubs, the Harris's hawk. Unlike most solitary hunters, this master of the air hunts in groups, forming strategic alliances with its kind. It is collective intelligence in action, a rare tactic in the bird kingdom, and a reminder that even in the wildest nature, collaboration can be the most powerful weapon. The Harris's hawk, with its low flights and coordinated attacks, draws in the sky-hunting choreographies that reveal not just instinct, but ingenuity. Among rocks, canopies, and trails, it stands as the architect of the heights. And thus, between the quiet strength of the bison and the aerial strategy of the hawk, the Grand Canyon continues to be a stage for nature that not only survives, but reinvents itself with each generation. In the open sky of the Southwest, where the heat dances over the rocks and the wind shapes time, an elegant shadow cuts through the air with purpose and intelligence. The Harris's hawk is not just a predator, it is a strategist. Unlike many birds of prey that circle, waiting for prey to expose itself, the Harris's hawk descends to the terrain, moves among bushes and rocks, reads the landscape with trained eyes, and pursues its quarry with methodical precision. It is a hunter by choice and a scholar by instinct. This adaptability makes it a master of survival. Among the canyons of Arizona, on the edges of the desert or at the fringes of human civilization, the Harris's hawk thrives with remarkable flexibility. Where there is food, shelter, and space to maneuver, there it is, adapting its tactics to the environment. If tall trees are lacking, it perches on cacti. If prey is scarce, it changes timing, alters plans, waits for the moment. Even human structures like towers, poles, and ruins present opportunities to it. It is a creature that sees order where many would see only chaos. In nature, survival requires more than strength. It demands intelligence. And the Harris's hawk, with its low flights and articulated ambushes, shows us that life's triumph lies in its ability to read the world and change with it. It does not impose its presence. It adapts, infiltrates, dominates silently. Further north, where the altitude softens the heat and the winds whisper among the needles of pine trees, another resident of the Grand Canyon moves with a discretion almost supernatural. This is the black bear, the ghost of the northern rim forests. Far from the more populated trails, it wanders through shaded woods, where moisture nourishes deep roots and vegetation covers the land like an ancestral mantle. There, it finds shelter, food, and solitude. The black bear is a creature of vast talents. An unrelenting omnivore, it feeds on what the season offers: fruits, leaves, insects, and roots hidden beneath the earth. It is a problem solver, capable of breaking open logs, reaching for thorn-protected fruits, and searching the ground with the patience of a sculptor. Its sense of smell detects food hundreds of meters away. Its body, though robust, moves in absolute silence. It sees before being seen. It hears before being heard. And when it senses human approach, it disappears with the same naturalness with which it appeared. Rare is the visitor who encounters one, but they are there, always have been, observing, evading, maintaining distance. The black bear has learned that its survival depends on discretion. In the forest's confines, every step it takes is a lesson in ancient caution. Invisibility is its shield, wisdom its guide. They see humans more often than the reverse and choose to remain unseen. This silent and constant decision is part of the pact they have made with the landscape. To live without noise, to exist without conflict. And so, while millions of visitors traverse the park's viewpoints and trails, a parallel life throbs beneath the shadows. A life of connections, balance, adaptation. The Grand Canyon, more than a geological marvel, is a sanctuary where every creature has learned to read the language of the earth, interpret the signs of the wind, and survive the relentless cycle of the seasons. Here, everything is in flux. The light, the climate, time. The interaction between soil, water, and fauna is not random. It is a primitive choreography where every living being has a role, a function, a story. It is in this interweaving that the true grandeur of the park resides. And if today we walk these trails and marvel at the vastness, it is because these creatures, visible or not, allow us to do so. The bison, the hawk, the black bear, they are invisible guardians of a heritage that needs to be remembered not just for its beauty, but for its delicacy. Therefore, if you wish to continue exploring the wonders of the natural world and honor those who live in its silence, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share this video. Because protecting nature begins with knowing it, and every story like this is a seed of reverence planted in the heart of those who listen.